Hello, this is Joe from IGN, and I'm joined by Craig and Mike from Flaming Fowl, ex of Lionhead, and this is the very exciting Fable Fortune.
For the kind of Fable fans, obviously the locations are very Fable.
Yep.
Obviously the cards themselves, we've got the characters from previous Fable games, we've got the creatures from previous Fable games, we've got specific kind of heroes and champions from previous Fable games, we've got, you know, Jack of Blades is in there and the Nightcrawler, but then, you know, you've got the Guildmaster, the dog. There we go. Oh, just calling the cards before they came out there. Yeah. So here's an example of a morphing card there. So
okay.
this guy can morph. Again, we need to change the text. Morality 1 doesn't really mean anything, but it shows that if you go good, this card becomes a philanthropist, and if you go evil, it becomes the inside trader.
Okay.
Bit of a hint for Sam there, what might be in Craig's hand.
Good, okay.
And the reward here is when you finish the first quest, you get that card in your hand.
Okay.
For this game only kind of thing. So you can, again, if you're going to a location and you look at the reward tiers for that location, you can see which card you're going to get, and therefore from that you can build a deck around going, I'm going to get the overeager, change that name, should we? Going to get the overeager cadet.
Close.
Come on,
change that name.
Yeah.
It's a beta.
And therefore I can, you know, put cards in my deck that work with him.
Okay.
Kind of so in this case, Craig's gone second, so he's got the chicken vengeance in his hand, for example. Might have a chicken vengeance.
Just giving away all my trade secrets here. So yeah, this is the first opportunity to have a look at Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anybody who's familiar with some of the previous Fables will recognise this as the castle.
So again, at the moment, we've got the locations in.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking really nice. We've got the units sitting in them and stuff like that, but there's always improvements we want to do. We want to start making them more interactive.
Right.
You know, we want things to start messing around with and having fun on the board and things like that. That's not a priority, you know. Again, it's Kickstarter. What's the first thing we want? The first thing we want is all the champions in. You know, we've got to get those 8 champions in. But then the second thing, you're probably noticing here, there's not a lot of audio. Not a lot of these units have speech.
Okay.
Because it's not finished yet.
Right.
And that's another one of our tiers, is getting a lot of the speech in. Wait.
I'm in trouble here.
Already.
I thought I said something
I've
wrong
not
then.
done
No, I just got
well,
a grimace. Yep. Well, it's the bacon. Master Bacon. Oh, Bowstone Bard. Bagard. Is he going to put the Bard in guard? No.
No.
He's
Sort of weird.
Already on the back foot.
That's a good example of a combo card for the knight. Is every time you summon a peasant, the Master Bacon gets an extra attack.
Okay.
And we could have done it. Again, there's other games that have done this. Every time you use your ability, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've done instead is every time you summon a peasant, and then there's lots of ways of summoning peasants.
Okay.
So it's actually more interesting. There's one of my favourite cards is a feral squirrel for our Greta character, and she's like this kind of Little Red Riding Hood.
Right.
Except if you go evil, she turns into a Balverine.
I think I've seen that in your Kickstarter video.
Exactly. So, but one of hers is this angry squirrel, and every time she does a rend ability, which is one of the keywords she has on her cards, it gets stronger, and then she has an ability which is rend every enemy.
Okay.
And this squirrel goes from like a 1/2 up to 8/2 in one turn, and smashes people in the face, and that's Craig's second least favourite card, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up there. I'm not doing well.
You got loads of gold pieces. It's good.
Yeah.
Your quest's not going too well.
No, I should not have picked that quest. It's just
This is looking desperate.
it's the pressure. It's okay. I'm building up to something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Should we start this one again? I think there's a bug here.
So Sam's just gone evil there. So that means his peasants are now going to start coming out with bombs strapped to them.
Yeah, if you could fit anything else on the board.
So the interesting thing is, if you're playing in a PvP match and you see him go evil, you're starting to think, what morphing cards has he got? Why has he gone evil?
I was going to say, there's a lot. You seem to be putting a premium on sort of non-textual visual feedback. That way of like being able to read the arena just by looking at it. Is that so? Were you looking at a sense? Oh, hello!
Look at that broadside. He's pulled it back.
That was exciting.
Sam's still smiling, or it might be a grimace.
Are we looking at ways of Hearthstone being a giant streaming culture now, and Magic the Gathering as well? Like, are you looking to have that same effect? Like this, someone can start watching and have an idea of exactly what's going on as soon as they.
Exactly. I mean, the things we're trying to do as well is we're going to be trying to use those kind of technologies, and again, if we can come up with some. Just gone and played the unit which summons fluffy cats just to annoy Craig. we're trying to look at those technologies. How can we use them even better? So if we're doing Twitch streaming, can we do Twitch integration? Again, it's in our Kickstarter. At some point it might pop up. So if you're watching a match, you can click a button and it'll tell you how to build the deck you're watching.
Okay.
Things like that. So we can really start rewarding people who are playing it and going, that looks really fun. How do I build that? What's he actually got? And then you can click a button and go somewhere else. And you don't have to, find a website and then start typing in what it's got on the website. The game will set it up for you. And then it'll go, well, these are the cards you're missing. Do you want to craft them? Do you want to open some more packs? Whatever.
Okay.
So yes, in theory. We're also, I don't know, do you want to talk about if we're esports? We're in initial talks about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we'd be very excited to do. We were looking at tournament modes. Definitely something we're keen to try and do in the future.
It's going to player again.
And sort of we're chatting to some of the major esports providers out there. Potentially looking at working with some of those. So there's lots of opportunities for us, and we can, again, it's something that we'd want to chat to some of the fan base as well about, like, if we've got a dedicated group of people that really enjoy playing the game. Who do you guys want to see us working with? What kind of thing do you want to see us doing? I think there's just a huge wealth of opportunities there, but we'd love to do it. Certainly, we're even looking at maybe trying to organise a tournament as part of the Kickstarter rewards.
So, that's one of the plans. Is we have different tiers, and we're looking at generally splitting our Kickstarter into bronze, silver, and gold. So when you come in the game, the kind of rewards you get, but also there's a tournament. We're gonna create 3 tournaments with different prizes. And then if you Kickstarter, you get invited to the tournament tier that you're in. So there should be, because the game's we're already planning to have a tournament mode kind of built in. Immediately you'll be able to take part in one of these tournaments for cash, for a cash prize. So that's cool.
You're going in big.
Straight in. And again, depending on how much money the Kickstarter makes, the prizes will get bigger.
Okay.
So we want to help, as well, because fundamentally, the cooler it is for us, the cooler it should be for everyone else as well. So we want to, help,
I've made a mistake there.
You have made a
Really?
mistake.
I put the wrong guy in guard.
He's played the Nightcrawler that summons a load of shadows, but when the Nightcrawler dies, all the shadows die, and then instead of protecting the Nightcrawler, he's put it in guard.
Put it in guard, which makes it open to being attacked.
Exactly the wrong creature.
I started looking at what you were saying, and
Lost focus.
That was nearly a really good move.
So what this game rewards is skill. And here's an example where it's not going to reward that skill. At least this isn't filmed.
Yeah.
This isn't going to go out live.
Can we get like a rewind feature implemented?
Sam's shaking his head. No.
Okay.
That's an interesting thing. When you say the game rewards skill, are we talk?
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of people know digital card games for their sort of RNG and a lot of embracing the digital format by becoming a bit more random, a bit more haphazard. Like, are you going for that same sense, or are you aiming for more of like your standard skill based?
Yeah. So we've got an initial plan, but we want feedback.
Of course.
Right? And we want to know what our fans want, right? So what we're going in with is a system which fundamentally rewards skill, right? So good and evil is a slightly more complex system than not having it. Our guard mechanic, as has been demonstrated by Craig, has an extra amount of skill. There's less luck. You don't have to draw a creature out of your deck which has guard involved. You get to choose what you want to put in guard. That requires more skill, right? We have cards with luck. I don't know if any have been played, but there are things which do random damage or might destroy a random enemy or do. We have that.
Yeah.
We're just not looking at a card at the moment which you can put into play and it will randomly summon the most powerful thing 1 in 20, and in 1 of 20 times will kill your opponent's units.
Gotcha.
Because you can be in this really strong position and then that person pulls out that random 1 in 20 card and wins. That's not a great feeling for you as a skillful player. If you've put in a combination of cards that when you play them they do this amazingly awesome thing and kill everything, but you've had to work out what that is, get those cards into your hand, get them into the right situation, and then you've pulled it off. That's fine.
Right.
But that's not technically random, but that is still awesome comebacks and turnarounds.
Of course.
But we do have, we have random cards. You've got to, a card game by definition is random, the cards you draw out of your hand. But again, we start on 3 gold, so that there's lots of games that if you start on 1, if you've put some low casting cost cards and they're not in your hand at the beginning, you're a bit screwed. You start on 3, that's not going to happen as much. There's less luck involved in that first and second turn. And in a lot of games, that first second can lose you the whole game.
Is it about creating a speedier format in that case then?
It is getting you into the meat of the game faster, so you don't have those kind of slightly slower downtime at the beginning, which...
Gotcha.
So you're you're into the meat. It's changed a bit since we were talking. Doesn't look quite as bad as it did.
We do have a 9.9 sitting on the other side there.
Yeah, we do.
It's all right though.
That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. That's part of my plan.
Lure out the big guys.
Yeah.
He's got all the crazy cats.
The fluffy
He's doing
cats.
It on
He's literally doing this on purpose. This is.
He's going for the achievement.
Yeah. First person in the world to ever get it. It was only designed 10 minutes ago, and now Sam's going to unlock it. Good.
You have to unlock it for him straight away.
Good. Okay. I'm not worried. This is fine.
This deliberation is
concentrating.
This is excruciating.
I've never commented on a game like on live before.
A live, yeah. We're shoutcasting
We are
now.
shoutcasting. I don't know if we've got a career in it. I mean, you probably more than me. You're probably used to doing this kind of thing.
I have dabbled. It's harder when you've never seen the game before, though. That's the issue.
Well, true.
I can't. Yeah.
You didn't have. If you hadn't said that, people might not have known.
That's true.
I could have got away with it. Yeah, so Craig's in trouble.
I'm fine.
He can heal himself though. Look,
I'm fine. Look,
he's not gone for the tofu train.
No. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do that.
There's a lot of cats.
And so I suppose what a lot of people will be interested in, just from like people who are interested in the industry, like how do you get from the position of being within Lionhead and then being outside of it? A lot of people will have read that Microsoft reportedly weren't so interested in letting the Fable license go, and that they have plans for it, and this helps demonstrate that they clearly have an interest in keeping Fable as an idea, within their structure. I mean, how did you guys have to kind of liaise with them about keeping the project, or did they just say, "This is what we want," and keep going?
Yeah, I mean, we went to Microsoft and said, we're interested in starting up our own studio and carrying on development of the game. And they were really supportive of that idea. Yep. They really like the game, really excited about the potential for it. And I think they care deeply about Fable. And I think there's it means a lot to us that they've letting us carry on. And as I think we said before, sort of off mic, there's really almost no difference for us in terms of how we're developing. We've always been the main people at Microsoft who've been developing the game and sort of making the decisions about what goes in, what doesn't go in, and that's going to carry on.
I think for Microsoft it's because we're the people that have worked on this for 18 months, and we're the people with exactly the same people, still working with Mediatonic when we want to Mediatonic have worked with us for 18 months. We're still working with Mediatonic, continuing. We've got the same creative director, we've got the same executive producer, we've got the same technical director as we had when we were working on it before. There's no risk. There's no risk to Microsoft. So for us to come to them and say we'd love to carry on, and they say great. Yeah. And that's been really, really, good for us.
And it's worth
because they didn't have to. So for us, that's a really, really exciting time. This is our opportunity to take this game and bring it to the world. Like, as we're showing you now, and going to see Craig get killed by a fluffy cat. I think
it's working to it, isn't it? This is the plan.
It seems worth pointing out that you guys have been involved in Fable as a series, for a long time as well.
I've been on Fable for 12 years, so technically this is my 13th. I'm still on Fable. So I was brought in Fable 1 as a senior scripter about 6 months before the end. So I wasn't there right at the very beginning, but I was lead scripter on Fable: The Lost Chapters. Okay. So I worked closely with Dean Carter and Peter on really working out what the story was for The Lost Chapters, and then Fable 2 as well. Okay. So that was a fantastic time working on Fable 2 and Fable 3. So, and other Fable games as well since then. I mean, recently, obviously, we've been working on this. I've worked on the incubation team as well, but been at I've been at
Lionhead for about 7 years. Most recently, I was working on the Fable Anniversary title, so we did the 360 version, and then worked on the version we brought to PC on Steam as well. So yeah, it's been great for me. I kind of got the great privilege of going back and actually playing.
Don't look at the screen.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm dying.
don't look at the screen.
I'm fine.
It's not happening.
But yeah, I had the great privilege of working on Anniversary, and actually, he's going to do it. He's going to kill me. I'm trying to talk here about the great heritage
Waiting.
at Lionhead, and
there
it's
it
the
is.
fluffy cat.
Fluffy cat does it.
Right. So anyway, we'll get to see me earn 1 medal now.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're leveling up now. So we're unlocking cards here. I'm going to commentate on what we're seeing here. So you're unlocking cards for your character as you're gaining more experience with them. This is you leveling up your cards, so you'll see them gradually progress up to evolving into stone versions, and then 1 medal.
1 medal.
There we
How
go.
many did you get, Sam?
You got
5
5
medals
Good.
for Sam.
Okay.
That's what you get if you win.
Straight to the next league.
Great. Yeah.
Straight to League 2.
Good. So this is an example of what happens at the end of the match and some of the great rewards you get even when you're terrible and lose the match. So
Yeah, I mean, you've already moved slightly closer to
Yeah.
your next reward, even though you've lost. Because I think we've all been in situations where we played CCGs and lost. Had a bit of a losing run,
yeah.
and you just feel like, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
But your cards have leveled up, so they're closer to looking better. You're getting closer to potentially, getting to the next league, and you're also getting rewards just for playing every game anyway. So there's always something coming in.
So that's Fable Fortune, the new card game in the Fable universe that we didn't know about. The Kickstarter kicks off on May 31st. Guys, thank you very much. This is an exciting new thing for everyone to check out.